morning, everyone, and welcome to Stretford Paddock. I am Alex, and I'm here to bring you the latest Manchester United news, a little bit of a fallout from yesterday's game, and also a little bit of transfer news, a little bit of injury news, all going on with Manchester United. But to get started, the results last night, the 1 point against Fulham, and then Chelsea's win against Leicester City means Premier League for this season. As you can see, the league table right there. That's Manchester United on 71 points. No one can catch us now. We are second. Man City, obviously, winning the league, but no chance of us finishing anywhere else but second for this year. So, look, a lot of people saying it doesn't matter whether you finish second, third, or fourth, whatever it is, Champions League. But for me, this was a big, important thing this season. We needed to see progression. We needed to see that we had moved forward. And I think finishing second in the league, whether that means, yes, we're a distant second behind Manchester City, there has definitely been progress for Manchester United this season. A little bit, if you have a look at that table there, you saw Chelsea have leapfrogged Leicester now into third place. Leicester now struggling to make the top four. Liverpool have a game in hand and have a superior goal difference. And if Liverpool win their next two games, Leicester have to beat Tottenham. I believe it's at least 3-0, and that's with Liverpool only getting two 1-0 results. At least 3-0, beat Tottenham on the final day to get that final Champions League spot. And I saw a little bit of a debate about this online. I want you guys to have a chat about this and let me know what you think about this. Is that Leicester City winning the FA Cup, massive, very good. And I was jealous watching them lift the trophy and all that stuff, seeing their owners so happy, seeing the players so happy after the FA Cup this weekend. But again, it's looking very much likely that they're going to finish fifth in the Premier League. Now, what does that say? What does that mean in terms of progression? Are you happy? Would you be happier winning a trophy and finishing fifth? Would you be happier finishing fourth and not having that trophy? A lot of people saying, look, I'd be happier finishing fifth and winning that. I seen Gary Lineker tweeting about that last night. Do you know what? The trophy is more important than fourth. But in terms of progression, in terms of having the funds to be able to build a better squad, to be able to Champions League football is the most important thing. And it's a sad state of affairs, but that is what it is. That is what is the progression is. You don't see it here of players saying, I want to play for the FA Cup winners. You hear players saying, I want to play in the Champions League. It's a bit of a sad state of affairs, but that is where we are with it all. So let us know. Let us know what you thought. Is that a more progression? Was that a bigger progression? Is Leicester City potentially finishing fifth with an FA Cup better than if they'd have finished fourth and lost that final? You guys let me know your thoughts on all that kind of stuff. Right, let's move on to the next bit. And this is the big story this morning. This is the potential injury crisis for Manchester United. Manchester United have mounting injury problems ahead of the Europa League final. Scott McTominay came off after 62 minutes last night. He was injured, not really cited exactly what he is. But at the same time, Scott McTominay facing a fitness thing for the Europa League final and definitely for the Wolves game. You're also moving on. We've also heard after the game, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came out and said that Fred has also picked up an injury, even though he completed the 90 minutes, and he is a doubt for the final. And finally, Harry Maguire, of course. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saying there he's not too sure whether Harry Maguire will be able to recover in and be ready for the final of the Europa League. So big news this morning. You've also got Anthony Martial there that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said all week. He's fit. He's ready to make the bench. He might feature. He didn't make the bench. So there's no real news about that. So that's potentially 4 players. Now, we've missed Anthony Martial for a long time now, but 4 players that are missing ahead of the Europa League final. And to be honest, 3 of them have been starters throughout the season. I will get to your comments and have a bit of a chat about that, but we've had a super chat this morning. Thank you very much, Fergal. Yes, Alex, let's put out some positive vibes. Even those who complain in the comments, you get a virtual hug, so you have to have a smarter day. It's a lovely day, lads. It is a lovely day. It's a bit rainy in Manchester. I'm obviously not outside Manchester United, outside Old Trafford to give you a full weather report. Bit of a rainy day, but second in the league. Pubs are back open. Couldn't be too bad. Now, a lot of people in the comments saying, you got Fred and McTominay. That's a good thing. Let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of Fred and McTominay. It doesn't really matter whatsoever. They're not our best 2. We should be able to play without them. We're better than that. But at the same time this season, Manchester United have played Fred and McTominay all the way through. That is his preferred centre midfielders. And it's not like he's played different midfielders in there and we've looked better. We've played whilst Fred and McTominay have had bad games for Manchester United, we have looked our best when we've had Fred and McTominay playing the best. We've not had Matic come in there and go, oh, he's much better. We've not had Donny van der Beek come in and go, oh, he fits that role. We've not played Paul Pogba in that deep position too often and seen better performances. We've had our best performances around with Fred and McTominay in there. And especially we are probably going to miss Harry Maguire. He's probably the bigger injury worry for all of this. You want that security of Fred and McTominay in front of them. You want their defensive work rate in a final. For as much as people are going to say, look, put Matic in there, put Pogba in there, let's go for it. Play Donny van der Beek in there as well. I don't think Ollie's going to do that. And I'd be worried going into that final if we are missing those three players in terms of Harry Maguire, Scott McTominay and Fred. Let's have a quick look at some of your comments as well. Charles said, Matic needs to be replaced with a regista type. The DM needs to be able to pass through the lines and cover the ground effectively. Krupmeinzer, Sangara, Zakaria. I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, that's not how things kind of go with Manchester United. We are a progressive team in terms of we do a lot of running. That is how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to play. There's players like Bruno Fernandes that have a lot of freedom. We have wingers that don't really do too much tracking back. They have a lot of freedom, and we have to have a solid base, and that's what Ole has worked on all the way through, is that we have two defensive midfielders that put a lot of work in, do a lot of the defensive work. So at the same time, you can't just get rid of them. You can't just get rid of them and not have them in there. And yes, it would be great if we could just say, yeah, let's put a Ruben Neves in there. Let's put someone who can play in there. But at the same time, that changes everything. And depending on how Ole sees things, depending on what other players you're having around that, you can't just change everything all at once. But I agree. I'd like to see us playing, obviously, with someone who can play the ball a little bit better. I do think Declan Rice is the better compromise in all of this. But who knows about that one? I'm going to have a quick scan on Twitter. A few of you guys talking about this, and this is my next story this morning we're going to be going on to, is Ole mentioned a little bit around Haryy Kane this morning. Haryy Kane, this was a quote from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after the game last night when he was asked about Edinson Cavani and whether signing him and signing all that means that Manchester United aren't going to sign a striker. And he came out and said, no, of course I can't say that. Eddie is but how many good strikers have we had? I can't say we're not signing a striker because we're building towards a better squad. He also then got asked about Haryy Kane directly. Are you interested in him? And of course he turned that down and he said, I can't comment on other players. I can talk about Messi and Ronaldo. Of course I can do all that, but there's nothing, I can't say anything about a player, which it seems such a wasted question for a journalist. He's not going to go, oh yeah, we put a bid in. Yeah, sound, yeah, great. He's not going to do that. He's not going to say, yes, I put a bid in for Haryy Kane. My thoughts on this is it'd be great to have Haryy Kane. This is the Fabrizio Romano tweet this morning. Haryy Kane's desire to leave Tottenham is confirmed. He's not handed in a transfer request, but he hopes to find a solution. Tottenham Hotspur's position is they have no intention to sell Haryy Kane. Kane would refuse a new contract as of today. Manchester City are interested, planning to open talks. It's looking likely that it's going to be the two Manchester clubs that if there is going to be a chance of signing Haryy Kane, that we're going to be up there with him. I think Manchester City have probably got, obviously, a little bit more cash and probably a little bit more of a pull to get Haryy Kane in. And I do think that Manchester United, as people have said, will be targeting other positions rather than striker this summer, especially with the signing of Edinson Cavani and signing him up to a new deal. But this one's going to rumble on. He obviously wants to leave Tottenham. I don't think this happens straight away. I don't think Daniel Levy just goes, yep, off you go. But I do think it's going to be a transfer saga that rumbles on, and it's looking like he'll be leaving. It'd be great to see Haryy Kane at Manchester United. That's my opinion. It doesn't matter whether we've got Edinson Cavani. It doesn't matter whether we've got Mason Greenwood. I've seen people talking about Jadon Sancho this morning. If we sign Sancho, you've got Ahmad, you've got Greenwood, all fit on that right-hand side. Great. That's how it should be. That's what Manchester United should be. We should have 2 or 3 players in every single position. You look at how Manchester City done things, that's exactly how they've done things. I've seen they had Phil Foden in the ranks, they had Bernardo Silva, they had Leroy Sané, and they went, do you know what? Let's get Mahrez. Let's get him in there. We know he's going to do it. We have Raheem Sterling, have all these players. Let's build a squad, and we can rotate, we can rest people. If someone's injured, it doesn't matter. That's what Manchester United needs to be able to do. And at this moment in time, we can't do that. If we have 1 or 2 injuries, look at what we're doing now in midfield. We're missing McTominay and Fred. Who else goes in there? Donny van der Beek, who is not a preferred position. Nemanja Matic, who really hasn't impressed at all this season. I can't remember many very good games from Nemanja Matic this season. So it's one of those things. we need a squad, two players per position, 2 or 3 players per position. Don't worry about development and things like that. If they're good enough, they'll break through. If they're good enough, they'll force people out of the team. But if there's a player in there, if we can afford, if we can do it, if we can get a better player, let's get people like Haryy Kane into the football club. Whether that happens, I don't know. Right, guys, I'm going to go through some of your comments this morning. Fred and Matic can win the league. You can't have any replacements. I'm guessing that you're not a Manchester United fan because you know that's not right. I think we do definitely need someone in there in midfield. Highlight of the game last night was 100% the crowd shouting "shoot" to Fred 30 yards out on his right foot. It's just we've had people like Scholes in there. The crowd are used to just shouting "shoot," and it's obviously a little bit of probably having a laugh. Same as Ollie when he gave him the big thumbs up at the end of it. People mentioning James Garner. James Garner would be fantastic. I can't wait to see him come back in next season. I think the big important thing for Manchester United next season and for a lot of the clubs and for getting different players in, trying different systems is having a pre-season. I think a lot of people have been frustrated by Man United sticking to this 4-2-3-1. But without a pre-season, without any break in the season to work on things, you kind of have to stick to what you know. And Ollie knows this 4-2-3-1. People may say it's not at the best position. It doesn't get the best out of the players, but he knows it. He knows it works most of the time. So I think that's why it stuck to that. And you may see maybe some different formations next season. Maybe you see some different players come in. Maybe you see us maybe revert back to 3 at the back. Maybe we've got the players to do that. Who knows? But I think the big thing is we need to get a pre-season in. We need to work with these players. You need the likes of James Garner coming in and competing for those places. Romano's tweet is nothing new that we already don't know. No, but usually if he said it, he has confirmed things. So that's it. He's confirmed that Haryy Kane wants to leave. Obviously, Tottenham did that the other day with putting the statement out and saying that. A few more people saying Matic and Donny van der Beek in midfield. Look, they've played there in the past. They looked lost against Leicester. I don't think in a cup final I'd be too happy with seeing them in there. What else have we got? Matic has had a couple of cameos off the bench. He changed things against Villa. Yeah, he did look good. There's a few people saying play Axel Lindelof in midfield. No, the centre-backs. The centre-backs, they aren't midfielders. You can't just do that. You can't just move people around. They aren't as good. I think if you think that Nemanja Matic is slow in midfield, try and play someone that's played at centre-back in midfield straight away. It doesn't just work like that. It's not as easy as that. I know it sounds great and it sounds simple as just move a few paces further forward. You have to read the game, though. You have to do something different. It's not as simple as that. Let's leave Axel to play at centre-back. You've seen yesterday he had a very, very good game, apart from the couple of switches off. But I think he's a very, very good centre-half. He needs to play at centre-back. Let's not be moving him into midfield. What else have we got this morning? Vishal said, we need Sancho, Ndidi, and a centre-back like Varane desperately. Glazers need to invest, but I have little to no hope. I agree that would be a very good summer. I don't think we're going to get all 3 of those players. I think we're going to probably get 1 or 2 marquee signings, and I expect maybe some younger signings in. Maybe you look at someone like the swap deals. You've got the likes of Lingard maybe moving out. There's the talk of Martial maybe going another way in terms of some of these deals. I think that will be the key to get 2 players in there at this moment in time. Would United CDMs make Barca's buying? Why am I reading your comments? Of course they won't. They're not good enough at this moment in time. We need to get it in. What else have we got? Fred is a good foot soldier. We need more options, 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. For me, I'd like to see us move on to a 4-3-3 and play that a little bit more often. But we need to have time to work on that. We need to have the players in to do that. At this moment in time, I don't think we have the players in to do that. I think we need to get a few more players in. I think Declan Rice would be the ideal one that came in. But at the same time, let's see how this goes. Let's have a read of a few more of your comments today. It would also help if we could defend. Our home form is appalling. That has been the worry this season, and that is the really worrying thing for Manchester United this season. I believe that is now, we've lost 6 games at home this season. We've only won 9 of our available 19 at home. It's not good enough. You look at Manchester United in the past, you look when we've won league titles, you look when the teams have won league titles this season, they win 15, 16, 14 games at home, only having a couple of draws. So that's it. I think Manchester United need to get better at home form. Hopefully next season, with the crowd behind us, with a few things worked out, it looks it will do. Cam Waters in the comments, this looks like a crazy crisis, Alex. I completely agree. I will quickly run through a couple of things from last night before I go. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came out and said Scott McTominay came off with injury after 62 minutes. He's not too sure on that one. You've also got Fred, who he confirmed at the end of the game, even though he completed 90 minutes, he did pick up a knock. You've obviously got Harry Maguire and Anthony Martial still not getting a game on the bench. So that's 4 very, very big players that might be missing the Europa League final next week. And with second place tied up, with nothing else to play for, that is the most important thing for Manchester United at this moment in time. So hopefully we can see some more of those players back. So make sure, that is all from me this morning. Make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're subscribing to Stretford Paddock. We've got all sorts of good stuff coming up. We'll have the build-up to the game at the weekend. You'll be hearing from Howson and McCullough and all them lot throughout the week. So make sure you've hit subscribe and the notification bell. I've been Alex, and I'll see you later.